Trust is such a fragile thing, isn't it? Like a thin sheet of glass. One wrong touch, one careless hand, and it shatters into 1,000 tiny pieces. And here you are, handing that fragile glass to everyone who smiles at you, hoping, just hoping, they won't drop it. But guess what? They do. They always do. You see, the world doesn't run on loyalty or kindness. It thrives on betrayal and chaos. People aren't afraid to let you down. They're afraid you'll see them for what they really are before they get the chance. So they smile, they promise, and then they wait for the perfect moment to stab you in the back. And you stand there holding your broken trust like a fool, wondering what went wrong. Let me tell you, the problem isn't them, it's you. You trusted, you gave them the power to hurt you. Trust is a weapon, and every time you hand it over, you're arming your enemies. But here's the secret they don't want you to know. If you never trust them, they can never break you. No promises mean no lies. No expectations mean no disappointment. You take back control by keeping the glass in your own hands, unbroken, untouched. So stop handing out pieces of yourself to people who don't deserve them. Hold on to your trust, guard it with your life. Because the moment you stop trusting, the moment you stop hoping others will do right by you, that's the moment you win. Let them call you cold. Let them call you distant. It's better than being broken. Let me guess. You've been hurt, haven't you? Someone you trusted, someone you believed in, turned around and crushed that belief into dust. Maybe it was a friend, a lover, a family member. They smiled in your face, made you feel safe, and then, boom. They showed their true colors, and you were left standing in the ruins of what you thought was unbreakable. But here's the hard truth you don't want to hear. This isn't the first time, and it won't be the last. Why? Because you keep letting it happen. You keep handing over your trust like it's candy, expecting people to treasure it. They won't. People don't value what comes easy. They take it, they use it, and when it no longer serves them, they toss it aside without a second thought. And every time it happens, it chips away at you. Your confidence, your faith in humanity, your sense of self. It all starts to crumble. You start asking yourself, why me? Why do you keep doing this to me? But the real question is, why do you keep letting them? You see, trust is like a leash. The moment you give it to someone, they have control over you. They can pull you in, drag you around, and when they're done, they'll leave you tangled in knots, struggling to breathe. And it's not just the betrayal that hurts, it's the humiliation. The realization that you gave someone the power to hurt you, and they didn't hesitate to use it. But here's the kicker. The world doesn't care. It doesn't stop spinning because you're hurt. The people who broke you, they've moved on, probably smiling at their next victim while you're still picking up the pieces. And that's the cycle you're trapped in. Trust, betrayal, pain, repeat. The problem isn't just the people who hurt you. It's the belief that you need to trust anyone at all. That's the illusion, the lie you've been fed since you were a child. Trust is the foundation of relationships, they say. But they don't tell you how fragile that foundation is, how easily it cracks under the weight of lies and betrayal. You're living in a world where trust is a gamble, and you keep betting everything you have. Stop. The house always wins. You think you're different, don't you? Special. You believe that people won't betray you because you're good to them, because you're loyal, because you do things the right way. But let me ask you this. How many times have you been left standing in the wreckage, wondering where it all went wrong? Face it, you're not some untouchable exception. You're just another player in the game, and you're playing it wrong. You keep walking into the same trap, expecting different results. Do you think your kindness will stop the knife? Do you think your loyalty will make them stay? It won't. The truth is, people aren't built to protect you. They're built to protect themselves. They'll take what they need from you, your trust, your love, your time, and when they've had enough, they'll leave. Or worse, they'll turn on you. That's how it works. And every time you trust, you're handing them the tools to destroy you. So why do you keep doing it? Are you afraid of being alone? Afraid that if you don't trust, you'll lose people? Let me tell you something. The people worth keeping don't need your blind trust. They earn it. And the ones who don't earn it, they'll leave the moment you stop giving them everything. Either way, you win. But no, you want to believe in the fairy tale. You want to think people are inherently good. That's cute. It's also why you keep getting hurt. Good doesn't survive in this world. Strength does. And strength doesn't come from trusting. It comes from knowing. Knowing who to keep at arm's length, who to cut off, and who to let in, only after they've proven themselves 100 times over. So stop crying about broken trust. Stop blaming everyone else for your pain. Take responsibility. The only way they can hurt you is if you let them. Every betrayal is a lesson you keep refusing to learn. So here's the challenge. Stop trusting blindly. Stop handing over the keys to your soul to anyone who knocks on the door. Keep them outside, in the cold, until they prove they belong inside. Because if you don't, the cycle will never end. And the next knife in your back, that's on you. Here's the part no one tells you. Trust isn't the problem. It's who you're giving it to. How freely you're handing it out, like it costs you nothing. But trust is valuable, precious even. And like all precious things, it should be guarded, protected, kept out of reach until it's truly earned. You want to stop getting hurt? Stop giving your trust away so easily? That's the solution. Simple, isn't it? But it's not easy. You've been conditioned to believe that trust is the foundation of every relationship, that it's a sign of strength to give it openly. Wrong. Blind trust isn't strength. It's weakness disguised as virtue. Strength is in control. It's in knowing when to hold back, when to test, when to say, not yet. The world wants you to trust, because it's easier to manipulate someone who doesn't question, someone who hands over the reins without a second thought. But the moment you start questioning, the moment you become selective with your trust, you take back control. So here's what you do. You build walls, not to keep everyone out, but to see who's willing to climb. Test people, observe their actions, not their words. Promises are cheap. Consistency is priceless. If they say they'll be there, watch if they show up. If they claim to care, see how they act when you have nothing to give. And even when they pass the tests, don't hand over your trust all at once. Piece by piece, inch by inch, make them earn it. And if they falter, if they hesitate, lie, or show signs of betrayal, cut them off without a second thought. Mercy is a luxury you can't afford when it comes to your peace of mind. Trust is like a fortress. The stronger the walls, the fewer the keys, the safer it is. Let them call you paranoid, let them call you distant, It's better than being broken. Remember this: not everyone deserves access to you. Your trust is your power, and the moment you stop giving it freely is the moment you take your power back. Let the world prove itself to you, not the other way around. Let the moment break the answers to you, not the other way around. Let them call you paranoid. Let them call you scared. A version that doesn't rely on others to feel strong, safe, or whole. Picture it. You standing tall, untouchable, with every shard of broken trust reforged into armor. You're not a victim anymore. You're the one in control. Starts with a simple realization. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need anyone to validate your worth. The strength you've been searching for out there, it's been inside you all along. It's in your ability to walk away from people who don't deserve you. It's in your refusal to let anyone dictate how you feel or what you do. Think about the power you hold when you stop relying on others, when you no longer depend on their promises, their loyalty, their words to feel secure. That's true freedom, when you control your own happiness, when your peace isn't tied to someone else's actions. And don't mistake this for isolation. This isn't about shutting yourself off from the world, it's about becoming selective. It's about knowing that you're worth more than blind loyalty to people who can't see your value. The right people will earn their place in your life, and you'll let them in on your terms, not theirs. You've been giving away pieces of yourself, hoping someone will complete the puzzle. Stop. You're already whole. Start acting like it. Start seeing yourself as the fortress, the fire, the storm that doesn't bow to anyone. Every time someone tries to hurt you, let it remind you of how far you've come. Let it sharpen you, not break you. Turn your pain into resolve, your doubts into clarity, and your fear into fuel. You're not here to be liked, loved, or accepted by everyone. You're here to rise above, to own your space, to be the master of your life. Look in the mirror and see what I see. Someone unstoppable. Someone who doesn't just survive betrayal, but thrives despite it. You're not fragile glass anymore, you're unbreakable steel. So, stand tall, stand strong, and let them wonder how you became untouchable. You're not just building a life, you're building an empire, and no one breaks into a kingdom without permission. Here's the truth that most people never figure out: the world isn't kind, and it isn't fair. It's a battleground where only the strong survive, and the strongest aren't the ones who trust blindly or forgive endlessly. The strongest are the ones who know their worth, guard their hearts, and never let anyone else hold the pen to their story. So, here's my challenge to you. Stop being a puppet in someone else's game. Cut the strings. Burn the script. You don't owe anyone your trust, your time, or your energy. The moment you realize that, you take back the power they've stolen from you. From now on, you decide who gets access to you. You decide who earns the privilege of standing beside you. And trust me, it is a privilege. You're not a doormat, a fixer, or a victim. You're a force of nature. And it's time to start acting like one. When someone lies to you, don't give them a second chance, give them a door to walk out of. When someone betrays you, don't let them explain, let them watch you thrive without them. And when someone tries to manipulate you, laugh in their face. Because the only people who deserve to stay in your life are the ones who would never dream of breaking your trust in the first place. You've wasted enough time hoping people will change, enough energy repairing what others have broken. No more. Starting today, you're the one in control. Your trust isn't a gift, it's a fortress, and only the worthy hold the keys. So stand up, take a deep breath, and promise yourself one thing: you will never, ever let anyone break you again. Not because they won't try, but because they won't get the chance. The world doesn't belong to the naive, the hopeful, or the trusting. It belongs to those who see through the lies, who stand tall in the chaos, and who wield their power with precision. Be that person. Be the one they can't break, the one they can't control. Build your empire, brick by unshakable brick, and let the world watch in awe. The question isn't whether you'll rise. It's whether they're ready for the storm you're about to unleash.